Hey, welcome back everybody, or welcome to the stream if it's your first time here. We did have some issues where the stream was not defaulted to 60 FPS for some reason, and it's 2017. I mean, come on. Come on. Might as well be streaming StarCraft from a console, am I right? Anyways, looks like brackets are set now.
Yes.
Alright, let me refresh real quick and see what matches we can get into. I mean, immediately I just want to hop into anything with Showtime, right? But, actually, Showtime leads into it. This is actually really interesting. Some of these matchups are quite good. I wouldn't mind seeing Ziggy versus aLive, but Leonok versus Hino, when it goes on to fight against Showtime, might just be the smoother ride, I think.
Alrighty.
Let's do that. Here. Leonok versus Hino. Of course, good luck to everybody that we're not casting today. May the odds be ever in your favor, and such and such. But, I'm hoping we can get like a good cast out of today. The brackets look good for it. It's just casting a match or two here and there while we get towards that semifinals. And I think if we do this correctly, we'll have a best of 3 Leonok versus Hino, then best of 3 Leonok versus Showtime. Although I don't know who Mad Joke is, maybe he'll upset Showtime. Well, unlikely. Showtime's one of the best players in Europe. Then the winner of that goes on to the first semifinals, then the second semifinals, then the grand finals. So today should go pretty nicely, I think.
Well, you know, Leonok was here. I don't remember if I said they're both here or I said Leonok's here, but I don't know how smoothly it is because I don't see Hino.
Well, if Hino's not going to show, we could always just grab another match, I suppose. Who do we have here for backup? What was the other one I said? Ziggy and Stylish.
Hey. And they're both here.
Well, that's not going to be too bad. Ziggy, for those who don't know, is a Grandmaster player, and more importantly, uses the BaseTradeTV portrait code, as we discovered last time we cast him. So, if they are here, maybe we'll just grab them and say good luck to Leonok. Although I just saw Leonok get into a game, so I don't know.
That's just my lobby.
Oh.
Did you see me get in a lobby?
No, because you're much further down the list. It goes alphabetically, damn it.
Oh no. It's a good point.
Wrecked. Dude, so why is Darkest Dungeon coming back into trend again? I've seen so many people tweet about it. Our mods were taking pictures of me apparently being in the brothel there, like.
Clearly I started a trend after I re-downloaded it a week ago. No, I have no idea.
Dude, did you miss out on cashing in on being a trendsetter? I'm so disappointed.
Damn. No, I didn't really like that much. I'm really trying to play my Steam games. So, you know, I tried it, right? But I don't know. It was okay. So but I think I get the appeal of watching it though, because there is so much variety and it's really easy and you can just talk over it. Because I know it's the same thing, right?
All right, let's grab. I invited Ziggy and aLive. Let's just get them to the lobby. But yeah, it's just interesting that's memeing. It's memeing again. Usually dead memes don't come back.
I mean, it was a meme.
Why? The game as itself was just like the way everybody treated it the first time around.
I don't remember. Only Controlled plays it. In fact, it was kind of funny because he's like casting the Vanguard thing happening right now, and I guess he like forgot to
oh, is that still happening?
Like changes.
I thought that was like a one.
Right now.
I thought it was like a one-day thing.
Huh. No, I don't know exactly what it is, but it's not a one-day thing. So it's happening right now, but it also was happening like yesterday, or whatever. And yeah, I forgot to like change like what his stream was under, so it's kind of like, I don't know, it's a bad start. But yeah, I guess we're casting this now since they're both here. Yeah,
so not like it's a horrible consolation prize. You know, Ziggy and aLive should be a pretty interesting matchup because it is. As much as I have no qualms casting those of lower ranks, it is going to be Grandmaster coming up against this Korean. And we know aLive to be playing a little bit, we will say politely subpar. He's not been the unstoppable force that he's been in the past.
Yeah, I still feel like all the Korean Terrans that we've always had in our online cups, like they just gave Gumiho all their power and then have like now just not.
He forgot to give it back.
Yeah, exactly. Like GS was done and just forgot to give it back. So like poor aLive still waiting here, best of 3 for his power back.
Or I guess like forgot with air quotes to give it back, right?
Oh, whoopsie! I left it at home. I'll grab it later.
Oh, apparently there's new DLC for Darkest Dungeon. That's why it's coming back into full swing. Thank you, chat.
Oh, I thought that was old though, like a month old. Oh, whatever.
Well, folks, we're getting into game number 1. It's a brand new best of 3 here for this new season of the Corsair Cups. It's the first game of the first tournament, but it's also the first cup of the season. In the top left, to kick off season 7, we've got, of course, the returning, ever often here Korean is the best way I'll describe that. The Blue Terran aLive.
In the bottom right, as the Yellow Terran, it is Ziggy. Piggy Piggy.
Also,
That's used to call him a cat, but not him.
Just to mention, I see somebody in chat already asking, Zangrab and I are not actually adminning the tournament. If you guys have questions about what to do or how to get into your games, I best recommend hunting down Olimoli in-game. She's the admin for today.
Yes. Certainly one of the reasons to get an admin is not just for the variety of actual job qualifications, but also the, you know, stop distracting us.
It's like
make things
a small detail, but it's sometimes an important detail, you know?
I think so. I mean, I think everyone, I guess anyone who's been an online caster, I guess the best way to put it, right? Because sometimes like the offline casters actually maybe don't have as many experiences as we did, you know, a while ago. But a lot of the online casters think of all the experiences being the producer, like the streamer, the caster, the observer,
the whole
the admin, the organizer, like, yeah, exactly. And it's like, you know, initially it starts off okay, and then like 4 people have a problem, and then also the stream also has a hiccup, and then also the chat wants to like add, like, wants to be moderated. You're just like, this is too much. I'm gonna crash. I'm gonna die.
All right, well, folks, first off, well, this is the first game, and it's a TvT and all that good stuff aside. Big thank you to Corsair and Twitch for making this possible. Shout out to the sponsors, but also, man, are the StarCraft fans winning today? You mentioned the Vanguard thing, so I went to go look. You got Beyond streaming, you got In Control, and a bunch of people covering the Vanguard tournament, 2v2 styles. You got Todd with the Caster tournament still going on, and then you got us kicking off now with the Corsair Cup. There's a lot of StarCraft to pick from.
Beyond just hosted us.
Oh, shoot, forget what I said about that. Beyond, my man. He probably doesn't know it's my birthday, but I'm going to pretend like he did. So thank you for the birthday, host Beyond. I appreciate it, brother. I hope you had a good stream. Not that you're listening, I'm sure, but I'm going to pretend like you are and assume that we're friends. And now I feel really good. And one day I'll come over and get to pet your dog.
Alrighty then. That ended on a weird note. It's like, it was an option.
I'm not going to lie. I've been seeing so many tiny dogs, and I've been away from my cat for so long. I'm slowly switching sides. Not yet, but,
okay,
you know.
No, that's gross.
Like 2% out of 100 conversion.
Pleb, please step away. You're no longer allowed in this channel. No, yeah, we had a bit of a scuffle in the middle where aLive did lose his Reaper, so Ziggy still has 2 Reapers and Stella doesn't. But it's 1 base versus 1 base openers, leading to 2 base. aLive actually playing a little conservative, I guess, because he lost his Reapers with his high ground command center. But kind of a typical TvT. Both players going for Cloak is kind of throwing me back, though. I feel like it's been a long time since we've actually seen both people go for Cloak.
I don't know if that stream saw that hiccup there. That was just me closing some of the programs we've opened, but I forgot to close earlier, so shouldn't be any problems going forward. Yeah, Cloak Banshee versus Cloak Banshee. Cool. Is this like 8 months ago? Meta,
yeah.
Right?
Yeah, it's funny too because they're getting the defensive options too, but just in a different order of things. So Ziggy already has a Raven and 2 Cyclones, and that's what aLive's getting to. So like they shouldn't really do a whole lot, but Ziggy already having to react pretty harshly by pulling all his SCVs. That was unideal.
Of course, losing them would be less ideal. So still, 4 will go down. Not the end of the world. He's gonna try and catch the Banshee with an auto turret blast by the looks of it.
Does that actually work? I mean, if I guess if the Banshee had just been clicked somewhere, it was eventually going to stop. It looks like it was clicked way far away. Some Reapers of Ziggy did try and get into the main base to get some further scouting, as well as maybe a switcheroo and get a couple SCVs.
Is Ziggy going to be going down mech? He must
It's
be,
possible,
right?
wasn't he? Wasn't he going back last time we cast him?
I don't recall, but it's just like with 3 Cyclones, Hellions, and no Stim started. Like, is there another option, really?
Maybe. By the way, they did catch the Banshee. She just eventually stopped. I got caught in a corner.
Yeah, there's nothing else really here for... I mean, aLive's playing about as normal as it would be. The weird difference, though, is this heavy emphasis on these Vikings. Normally you'd see medevacs, 1 at least, but having 4 to 5 Vikings really early for Sky Control could go really well for him. And oh, finally a player using the Viking skins!
That just looks like a missile on the production tab.
It does.
Like you're about to nuke someone with a fancier missile.
Well, one thing I would actually love for mirror matchups is trying to set it up so like one player uses skins and one doesn't. That'd be really cool. But unfortunately, this one's already going pretty badly for Ziggy.
Yeah. Maybe now that the Vikings pop out, now the Banshee's just taking damage from the Marines anyways.
If those Vikings kill the Raven and then land, he might be able to hold this.
Oh shit, yeah, they actually didn't kill it. Well, okay, Scan goes down anyways.
I was a little bit late to the land, but he's in the dead zone of the tank.
Oh, he's not even gonna get this one.
But you know what, while this went on, I didn't realize there was a Banshee in the top left killing aLive's SCVs as well. So, while aLive might be looking to break Ziggy, Ziggy just did kill like 16 workers of aLive. That's
true, and Ziggy has a 3rd CC. There certainly is a lasting potential for him. aLive's taking maybe too much damage.
That's the question here, but Ziggy also might lose a command center, which is going to be the ultimate damage.
No, that's not supposed to happen, but you might be right. There's a Viking, there's a Marine, he's not lifting.
He was so focused on trying to catch the rest of the SCVs. GG. Ooh, I feel like that game could have gone very differently.
Agreed. That surprise Banshee did a lot of work. It's too bad.
Now we see why it's coming back in the meta, I suppose. When you can take on Korean Titans like aLive and make them look that silly, but like I feel like if he lifted the command center, yes, there's the threat of the Viking shooting him, but he could still have like floated it to the main, probably repaired it, and then just like been ahead by a ton of workers. So close. But all right, that's game 1. Corsair Cup though is loser's pick, so they do get a bit of a chance to come back. As it'll now be up to Ziggy what map we go to next. Also, it's worth noting we've cleared the slate for the Corsair Cup points. So every season so far, the winner has been given pretty much an automatic seed to the following month's grand finals. Since we did swap formats and now we're going back to the other format, we've decided to wipe the points clean. So there will be no automatic invite to this season's finals. They'll all have to work for it.
Alright.
Okay.
I got an email from a Mr. Donati Good Luck.
Oh, and what did they want?
Imagine what it is. I'm a beneficiary for $12 million.
I hope that would actually be the case. I've never actually gotten like the Nigerian prince scam, and I don't know anyone that has. But you hear about it all the time, right?
Yeah.
Also, I got a question.
What?
If we had to do math, exactly 4 hours ago, was the cast still going on, or were you finished at that point?
So at 10:18, the cast is still going on, I think.
Okay. Because I wasn't sure.
No, that wouldn't make any sense.
Because I say it should have been over by then, I would think, because I left 5 hours to go.
Yeah, we started at 6, not 7.
Well, I'm asking because Terminator, he snuck in a donation, the cheeky guy that he did, to the GatherBot. Says thanks for all the hard work with $20, and he gave everybody who was there at the time 2 robs. So I don't know.
I'm good.
Was that a spider alert? Because I feel you. I won't even make fun of you.
I thought it was. It was like kind of like slowly coming down from the ceiling, but it was just a piece of fur. Anyways, go on.
Anyways, I was just gonna say thank you to Terminator as well. I don't know if he's here or not, but you know, if he checks the VOD, at least he'll know we caught it. But game number 2 in this best of 3, spawning here to the lower left side, we got the Yellow Terran player Ziggy, and he's not staying at home.
No, he is not. In the top right, as the Blue Terran, it's aLive.
aLive also playing really greedy with his depot.
He did that last game though. It's always so weird to say it's greedy, but it is. It saves you like 10 minerals, I think. We're not just in the SCV all the way out there. And it's usually just not that very important. That having a wall eventually is always going to be the safer option. But, yeah. Maybe it's Reapers, it's like they're going to get up there anyways. Which it probably is.
By the way, thank you to the Rabbit22 for the birthday slap, I guess. Also, to note, man, I kind of forgot about one of the big downsides of having your birthday, and that is having everybody message you and then feeling really guilty about knowing that you couldn't possibly message everybody back. Strangers on Twitter, people on Facebook. I never use Facebook anyways. Email alerts coming in, and it's just like, thank you all is like what I would like to do, but I know it's such a shitty cop-out, so I'm going to have to spend like the latter half of the evening just like emailing and messaging people back.
Okay. I was gonna say, like, maybe if they send me a message on Skype, then I feel kind of obligated, but on Facebook, I've never felt obligated. Because I also, as someone who does, like, also occasionally say happy birthday on Facebook, it's only because I feel then obligated in a dumb way to say happy birthday, but I don't care if they say thanks or not, right? And then that person feels obligated to say thanks, even though, like, they don't actually care. Like, it's this whole, like, thing about not actually wanting to.
Well, birthday logic aside for a moment, this is really interesting. The scout out of aLive is huge. He wasn't able to shut this down, but he tries to put a bunker on, like, over here, opposed to, say, around his buildings.
Yeah, which isn't actually that smart of a move, because the Reaper snowball, like, it should stop from ever getting up.
There's also just a ton of ways to get around it on Sequencer. If this is like Proxima, I could totally understand, right?
Yeah, that's true too. Well, you know, aLive, he did go for a Marine here, and anytime bot would be very important because he doesn't have a second Reaper, but it is, like, very... It's not what I expect, to be honest, from a pro gamer. There are just some things that are, like, smart in theory, but there's a reason that pro gamers don't do it, and it's because it cuts into X, Y, Z, you know, whatever. And a bunker against a T-Rex actually kind of... A proxy T-Rex, it is, kind of feels that way for me. They either get that second Reaper and micro their heart out, or they don't and they fall behind and they die. They don't build a bunker usually. But it was canceled, and aLive just needed to buy time to cycle anyway. His Reaper did live, just on the left side of the map. Yeah.
This, for Ziggy, he bled out a couple of aLive's SCVs, and that was nice. So, you know, the worker count's not that disparaging of a difference. Neither really has a command center set up, so there is some possibility to play this out behind it. He's got up with the SCVs to deal with the Reaper. It does get surrounded. aLive not paying attention. Oh, that could have done so much more. Meanwhile, on the other side of the map, that Cyclone might get picked off by the Reapers. A couple good hops with that grenade. Good control so far to Ziggy. Second Cyclone might be a little much, though.
Yeah, the second Cyclone should definitely do it, but even the fact that the Reapers have traded the Cyclone is very good. 3
health. One more shot would have finished that off. That was so close. So clutch.
Yeah. Because, I mean, if they have 2 Cyclones, they actually have a fair potential for a counter and breaking your ramp, even if you had a wall, which Ziggy does not. They both just did not go for walls. But one would be, like, a lot more questionable, so it's good that aLive saved it. It would have been awesome if Ziggy had taken it down. He's going to scout with his racks now. Did he do enough damage, all things considered? I think, yeah. I think enough to warrant the Reaper proxy, but not enough to really get a benefit. Right.
And I like the barracks scout. We've actually been seeing this a little bit more frequently out of everybody, both the high and low tier Terrans. But while this scout of the barracks may or may not go down, it saw the important details, and that is the command center that's actually building behind it. So Ziggy doesn't have to fear about a 1-8 all in. He is going to start his command center as it looks like a response to this, but I'm really excited to see that Banshee come into play again. I don't think we'll see it get away with as much as it did last game, but maybe. That's the first 100 bits towards the... What did I do for which is which again? Birthday cake.
Birthday cake is bits.
I bought little candles for it that say birthday boy.
Is it like, what type of birthday cake is it?
You'll have to find out. Choose some bits if you want to know.
Wow. The real market here.
No, I truly don't remember. It's in the fridge. That's what type of cake it is.
It's in the fridge. All right, then. It's a human body.
I just went out and bought it all last night. I was really sad though, because like I said, the whole rum situation got me a bit miffed. I guess I could make like a white Russian or something. Sip on in between. I'm gonna need the drinks though, because I have to deal with my parents tonight.
Oh, you have to? It's like, isn't that like one of those things where, yeah, like your holiday or vacation is supposed to be spent, you know, vacationing, but instead it goes to like a sick day, or it goes to like spending time with your in-laws that you hate. Should your birthday just be about stuff you like want to do?
It should be, right? For those who don't know, I don't have a super close relationship with my parents, but they're insisting on coming down, and they're gonna try and buy me dinner or something for like happy birthday. But I'm just gonna be like, yo, can we just get groceries or something for the next week together? Could that be my birthday gift? I'm an adult now and I need these things.
Good shit. No, I understand that. I'm so tempted. You know, I've never been
the birthday Costco trip. I'll bring some balloons.
My siblings did this, and I always hear this kind of stereotype for like, you know, TVs and movies and stuff, but like kids getting their parents do their laundry long, like, you know, way into their 20s. Like they're in college, or like Joey and Friends, like still has his mom do his laundry. I'm like so tempted to just like send my laundry home.
Mail it.
I'm having such bad luck with laundry in Korea without a dryer. Every time it starts raining, so I either can't do it or I did it and it doesn't dry properly, so it smells. And I'm like, this is the worst thing ever.
I love the idea where you're like FedExing your laundry to your mom, expecting her to FedEx it back.
It's almost worth, I'm telling you, man.
Just buy new clothes at that point. It's gonna be so expensive to ship that much, like every week.
Yeah, you're probably right. It probably would be cheaper.
Alright, grenades and Reapers have continued to be effective in terms of just poking it alive and, more importantly, keeping him at home. But, well, I brought up the question of, like, was Ziggy going to play mech last time? Maybe aLive will with these double factories. Third Command Center finishes up, too. And, well, Ziggy's got a really nice push. Oh, my God, these look so beautiful. I actually am so in love with this Viking skin. Anyways, he's got a push coming, though. And I think the Viking control is notable, not just because of the air control, but they can land and deal so much damage to everything on the ground. That bonus damage versus mechanical is huge. Scouts to the main, sees the third CC. Hellions are out of position, so Tank's going to hug up right against this wall. And this will not be an easy position to break. There's auto turrets as well, and that's Raven to keep this lineup backed up.
aLive's taking that Viking fight before he should. Lock on to the Raven is going to kill it.
Forcing him to burn the auto turrets.
Yeah. Now it might be doable. There's I guess maybe there was the Banshee or something in the main too. Got 4 SCVs, 3 SCVs, something like that.
It's the tanks here that were blowing up the refinery ones, I think, right? Nothing over here I don't think died.
There's something yellow.
Oh. Well, either way, Command Center for aLive getting dangerously low here. Kind of forcing his opponent to engage. aLive's going to have a hard time putting down those last couple auto turrets, but it looks like he will hold this, but not without taking some major damage on his army as well. Those tanks went out with a bang.
Yeah. And Ziggy just has a lot more SCVs. I mean, 5 dead is not that impressive, but it's more like to start it off with so much more, and aLive wasn't producing them.
And worse yet for aLive, he takes his third CC on the base that only has 1 geyser. So playing mech, it's not as gas demanding as it was in the past, but it's still pretty darn gas demanding. Missing out on a whole extra refinery could really hurt him.
Yeah. Now, has Ziggy identified that it was mech? He did. Yeah, he did. He got in the main base and saw the double factories. Last moment, mainly because he's just not producing very many Marauders quite yet. There is definitely a certain point where you're going to want to transition into some heavy Marauder production. Unless you try and play like mass air, which is not what he's doing. Be more starports if that was the case. Things are looking quite good for Ziggy against aLive. And in a TvT, I really consider just like, it's obviously a mere matchup, so you can't have any like complaints about like Adepts being cool or something like that. You'd really expect aLive to just look so dominant in it.
I gotta tell you, I'm hoping Ziggy can tie this up. It'd be really cool to see that he's got this chops to do it. And this is kind of what we talk about in terms of like finding the new players. Ziggy's not new, by the way. Ziggy's been around for a while, guys, but it's one of those things where when you finally do beat aLive in like a best of 3 or something, you kind of cement yourself on that radar. And speaking of radars, I really like the sensor tower placement out of both players. You can see exactly what they're worried about. aLive doesn't want to get dropped on this side or have tanks set up down here, kind of like what Ziggy had done before. And Ziggy very clearly doesn't want to get caught off with a drop in his main because he'll be focusing to the right where the rally is for all these units. So takes the bottom right? Okay, that's unexpected.
Yes, it is. Well, all things considered, he should have the map control and the freedom to do kind of whatever he wants. There should be Hellion run-bys eventually. In fact, there they go to that third base. So, you know, it's within limitations, but I think take whatever base that you want.
The army's close, but it's not close enough. The Hellions are going to get to the SCV line, and while Ziggy may have had past tense a lot of SCVs, he might lose a ton here.
It's really not that bad. Yeah, it's really
6
not.
could have been worse.
He's going to scout. Oh, that's barely not. Never mind.
Oh man, this is such a weird base to be taking. I don't blame him for not scouting it, but Ziggy's doing something really strange behind this. 3 starports get slapped down, and now he's actually starting to invest in air. Like, actually invest in it with upgrades.
I don't find it super strange, but it's one of the responses you can do against mech. It seems like a lot of other players who do find themselves against mech, which not very often in TvT, are playing more of just like pull your opponent apart, side to side, this way and that. By changing over into starport production, you really are looking for a bit of a surprise factor and actually like an overwhelming snowball factor too, because they're usually not making too big of a sky army at this point.
This will be neat to see. Someone's asking about when did the Viking skin get released? I want to say like a little over 2 months ago, but maybe that's...
Yeah.
It's not new, but the problem is none of the pros use it, so you probably never see this in play. And of course, for the premier events, they force players to disable skins, which... It's such a weird business model. Like, hey, we put these really cool things in the game, but we don't want anyone to ever see them, ever.
It is. Well, I mean, it's always hard to say, right? Because you consider that most of the appeal is going to non-esports watchers. Then sure, do whatever you want.
I just feel bare minimum, like, mirror matchups. They should have, like, preset tournament accounts. One that has, like, all the skins and one that doesn't. It'd be a really cool way to differentiate players. I
just think there should be a test phase, like a probation phase for the skin, where like, okay, you don't use it for the first 2 months just in case it actually ruins the game somehow, and then once you know, the pro gamers are like, no complaints at all, you add it into the tournament circuit.
Yeah, I think the only one I've heard any issue about ever wasn't even like Lings that much, although they were annoying. Roaches have had the only legitimate one, because of how difficult it is to see the tunneling claws upgrade. But anyways, that aside, tanks just kind of poking away. Both players have a pretty sizable air force. 6 Vikings to 7, 2 Ravens to 1. 2 Ravens to 1 is actually pretty huge. But that's where the Marines come into play. Drop goes into the natural base, shreds up about 9 SCVs. Oh, this is the medevac though.
Not too bad. Ziggy on 4 bases is looking to easily replace a lot of these bio units, but aLive didn't see the Raven army. Oh. Growing air army, rather.
The shift-queued medevacs, unaware of the bottom right base, now realize they probably could have dropped to there. Even though it is a planetary. This blue flame Hellbats, they'd get a lot of kills very quickly.
Yeah. But now Ziggy's paying attention, so they just kind of
Oh, no.
We're not.
Oh, no.
Okay. Well, there it goes. Like, if the army was coming back here, you really should not have taken too much damage, and there you go. Well, not too worth for aLive.
The fear in normal TvT, I think, is like, oh, you respawn down here with your army, you get dropped in the main. But he knows it's mech, and well, mech is very powerful. It's very slow moving.
I think it's a little unfortunate that aLive got sight on how many Vikings there were. Oh, I don't know about... What? What? Okay, so I was totally on board the whole, like, a lot of starports thing. Although Thor's have been gotten a lot better.
He's swapping
that is no longer. Mech? Yeah,
Oh, maybe it's just Widow Mines.
Is that actually a good response?
I'm just thinking if he's worried about air.
Yeah, if it was pure air, but the problem is, like, you know, siege tanks, Hellbats, they can take care of Widow Mines for using.
Well, this cements aLive in a weird spot. He's going to be able to deny this base, and it goes down fast. But now he is, like, rooted in place. If Ziggy really wanted to, he could just move past this. His army's much faster. Pick up and drop, or just stim the Marines. But looks like he's going to try and maneuver with the Vikings. His army in the sky is better. 12 Vikings in play. Point defense drones are going to be big. 3 Ravens also huge to this. Both players slap it out again. Auto turrets even just getting a couple shots in there is huge. This forces aLive out of position, and while he moves out of position, the bio could come in and try and catch those tanks.
I'm surprised that aLive didn't land his Vikings to save them.
Yeah,
or
actually.
to help. Usually there's a Liberator coming in here too, and you gotta fight.
Oh no,
you
no,
gotta
no,
try
no,
and
no.
snipe that, but...
Oh, no, Ziggy,
okay,
that
well,
was so
they
tempting.
Yeah, they both was there. Domino, okay.
Well, no, but that was Ziggy's whole army he just threw away into this.
Yeah.
There was no real reason to land the Vikings there. I understand what he wanted to do, but with 2 Cyclones guarding the tanks, that still wouldn't have gone well either way.
No, he absolutely should have had some Liberators making as soon as he saw, actually. As soon as he knew that he had a bigger army in the air, take his Liberators into equation. Because even if aLive was getting a Thor, which he was, he actually got a Thor like a while ago. I think it's like only just now reinforcing because it's super slow. But like,
Snipes the Raven.
You know, you still try and get the Liberator to get them to unsiege.
I really wish I could ask Ziggy what the 5 factors was about leading
Right?
into this.
Like, I definitely do not see. There's no mech transition anywhere. Okay, like you don't transition away from bio once you've chosen Stim.
Yeah, pretty much.
Fantasy tried in TvZ because it's the thing you do in Brood War, but no, not even in Brood War TvT. Super weird.
Well, a lot of tanks marching down for aLive. He's also got a small run-by setup on here on the left side. He's tearing the rocks down and everything. So not misvalued units by any stretch of the imagination. Also, I didn't realize how big of a deal upgrades were for aLive. I was wondering why the Viking count, or why that Viking battle took so long to end, but you'll almost level 3 armor upgrades are negating a lot of the damage that Ziggy's bringing. Especially just, even these auto turrets aren't really going down, or doing that much damage anymore. But this is not quite cutting it. That Thor took so long to take down, and that Thor was the big gatekeeper to get into the tanks. While this happens, tank set up over here, scans to see the base. GG gets called. aLive will take the series 2-0.
Okie dokie then. It was a very... I really appreciated that game up until... Well, not just the factories, but up until the Viking decision.
Damn. Both Showtime and Lena got walkovers. If we had just waited patiently, we could have got Showtime versus Lena. Feels sad, man.
All right.
But not too sad because we have a possibly, no, definitely a TvT coming up. Soul advanced 2-0, so he's in the round of 8. He'll be playing against aLive next. I guess we'll follow for a little bit more TvT action and then get into both the semifinals. I'm going to go to a quick break, guys, and we'll see you guys in a few minutes as we get this next series sorted.